Texas is back, folks. At least from the bye week, we're previewing Texas, Iowa State, talking Texas soccer, and more. Next on College Crossfire.
I guess we'll get into it, guys. Always enthusiastic, unbelievable, hard-nosed.
Roll up the sleeves for this one.
This Dallas team was very overrated from the start, like they always are every year.
The talent there, Tevin Mack, Eric Davis, and Cohen Roach, are maybe three of the most talented guys in the team.
Oh, that's an ugly shirt.
Always a pleasure having you on, guys.
Time to freak out.
Good evening and welcome into College Crossfire. I'm your host, Mark Skol Jr. Glad you are joining us on your Wednesday night. It's show 3 of the semester. Let's go ahead and meet our panel. To my left, it's a newbie, Sean Mapes.
Yeah.
How's it feel to be on? First time.
Feels good. Ready to get things popping.
Glad to have you on. Henry Corwin, all the way from New York City, a freshman. Glad to have you on, man.
Great to be here. I'm ready.
Glad to have you on, Henry. And then last but not least, the champ from last week. I don't know how he's in the last chair, but Luke Hendry. Glad to have you back.
Moved from my signature second base position, but glad to be back on more.
Good to have you on, Luke. All right, let's get it started, guys. Texas is fresh off the bye week after coming up just short against USC in double overtime. The assignment this week, Iowa State in Ames. Of course, the last time Texas was in Ames, the Longhorns were shut out 24-0 and didn't even cross the Iowa State 47-yard line until the final 90 seconds. What does Texas need to do to avoid another embarrassment in Ames? Sean, we'll start with you.
The defense has to show up, Mark. When you play a team like Maryland and you give up 51 points, it's really disappointing. It's hard to win those kind of games. But in the last couple games, they've rebounded. They shut out San Jose State, held Sam Darnold, USC, 27 points. It's really up to Malik Jefferson, Holton Hill, Chris Boyd, those kind of guys step up and give the offense a chance.
The defense, the defense that showed up against USC, if they play like that every single game, you could see them upsetting some of these Heisman quarterbacks they're facing down the schedule. I like that point. Henry, what about you?
I agree with the guy to my right. Their defense has to step up, but specifically their secondary has to step up. In season opener against Maryland, they let Maryland's quarterback Tyler Pigrom complete 9 of his final 11 passes down the stretch. And then against USC down the stretch, after Sam Ehlinger gives them the 3-point lead with 45 seconds left, all they need is one more stop. Their secondary cannot get it done in crunch time. And obviously, USC went on to win the game in overtime, so they're just going to have to have their secondary step up, not just the whole game, but specifically down the stretch when it matters.
They definitely need them to step up. We've seen Deshaun Elliott this year against USC in particular. Holton Hill. Texas is leading the entire college football in touchdowns for their defense. So the defense needs to step up, secondary especially too. Luke, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with both Sean and Henry here. I think the defense is critical in this game on Thursday night, tomorrow night. In fact, I think when you look at the effort that was brought to the Coliseum, they're going to have to bring that into Ames. They held one of the best programs in the nation with 2 of the most elusive backs in the country to only 79 total rushing yards on 1.9 yards per carry. But I'm also going to say that the offense has to play well. 2 years ago, this team was shut out, 24-0 in Ames. Offensive line is weak. So whether it be Shane, Buechele, or Sam Ehlinger, they're going to have to play a great game if they want to start off Big 12 play 1-0.
I'm going to go with Luke here just because last time Texas didn't score any points on offense. They're going to need to score some points to win. I think the offense really needs to show up. I think the defense has shown their last 2 games that they can play at a high level. Offense hasn't really been as consistent. So I'm going to go with Luke there. Moving on, it's been over a week since the USC game, and we still don't know who is the starting quarterback for the Longhorns. Texas football coach Tom Herman said at yesterday's media availability that he will not tell anyone who the starting quarterback is for tomorrow's game, trying to get Matt Campbell no hints. But the question is this: who do you want to see under center, and then who will be under center? Henry, you're getting us started on this one.
I'm going to say Sam Ehlinger. I think he will and he should start at quarterback. The poise that this freshman showed going into USC, first road game of his career in front of 84,000 fans, to lead his team down the field, trailing by 4 points, to get the go-ahead touchdown in such a hostile environment. I think he showed great poise, and to bench him now after that, if they want to confident quarterback into the future, I think it would just be taking a step back to not have him under center.
I think that's a great point, especially the fact I mean, you saw in the Maryland game, Shane Buechele had a chance with 3 winning go-ahead drives in the fourth quarter, and he couldn't do it. Sam Ehlinger does it in the Coliseum against USC and gets it done. They still lost the game, but Shane Buechele couldn't do that at home. I like your point there. Luke, what about you? Who should start, and who do you want to start?
Who is going to start? It's going to be Shane Buechele. Tom Herman didn't address it yesterday at the media availability, but he did say that Shane looked better. For some reason, the coaching staff likes number 7, so that's who we're going to see tomorrow night in Ames start. Who do I want to see start? Like Henry, number 11. Sam Ehlinger is the guy who, whether you see him in 2 or 3 games, I think by the end of the year, Sam is going to start for Texas. He brings something that Tom Herman has been preaching, and that's the mentality of winning. Shane Buechele is 0-4 his last 4 starts, 5-8. That's not a winning mentality. And Sam, in his first 2 starts, led the Longhorns 56-0 to San Jose State and almost defeated a top-ranked program in the nation. So I think that's the mentality that Texas wants in a quarterback, and I think Sam Ehlinger is the guy.
Luke Hendry, a big Sam Ehlinger fan. I love it. Sean, are you a big Ehlinger fan too?
I'm a big Ehlinger guy. However, I don't think he should start this week's game. I think you give Buechele his chance, but always have Ehlinger in the back pocket. Fact is, Ehlinger was pretty bad to okay in the start of the game against USC and really turned it on late. I say you give Buechele a chance in the first half, and if he can get it rocking, get it going, you ride out with Buechele. But if you have to, break glass in case of emergency, bring in Sam Ehlinger.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to go with Henry here just because I really want to see Sam under center. I think this guy is the future, and I think he's the present, too. So I'm going with Henry there. Henry's getting his first point ever on College Crossfire.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Witness
it.
in history.
Yeah,
Sean's going to come up soon.
Right.
While Texas football wasn't playing this weekend, the Texas soccer team was taking the country by storm. The team won both of its matches against Iowa State and West Virginia and now have a perfect 10-0 record. What's been the most impressive part of the Texas soccer team's run thus far? Luke, going to start on here.
I think it's just the complete renovation of this program. Angela Kelly has transformed a team that only won 8 games last year. They were 8-9-1. Now they're a 10-0 program. They've won 2 more games in the first half of this season than they did in the entire season last year. Angela Kelly was on the hot seat. I think it got distracted from a lot because of the changes in coaching in football with Charlie Strong leaving, Tom Herman coming in. So nobody realized that Angela Kelly was about to lose her job. Now she's leading a Texas program that over the last 2 seasons was struggling to the best start in history. I think it's just a complete transformation, and I think it starts with the top. I think Angela Kelly's doing a fantastic job.
She really has been
with
phenomenal.
the talent on the team.
And what's really impressive, too, is that this team was picked to finish second to last in the Big 12, and now they're 10-0, undefeated, ranked number 8 in the country.
She calls it time and talent, and I think those merge together at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Sean?
Most impressive thing to me is the youth movement that we've seen from the team this year. It's, you got sophomores like Sierra Hinson, you got freshman Haley Berg, depending on those youth up front and win these games. I mean, they've only given up 4 goals all year. The defense has been stout. The offense up top with the strikers have been doing their thing, and so I guess the youth I'd say is the most impressive thing.
Youth movement. I love it. I love it.
Well,
Henry?
I definitely agree with the guys, with Luke and Sean. But from an X's and O's standpoint, Mark, defense wins championships, and that cannot be more true than with this Texas women's soccer team. Like Sean said, they've only allowed 4 goals all season, and their back line has only allowed 79 shot attempts on goal compared to the Longhorns offense, which has been able to shoot 170 times on their opponent's goal. So basically, for every two shots the Longhorns offense gets, their defense only allows 1, and especially their goalie Nicole Curry, having only allowed 4 goals, there's only a .051% success rate on shots in the goal.
That's insane. You did your research on this.
I
but
did. Yes,
Are
I
you a
did,
big
sir.
Texas soccer fan?
Not before I did my research, but I made sure I knew.
That's awesome.
what I
I'm
was gonna
actually going to
say.
go with Sean here because the youth movement, I think Hinson has been unbelievable lately. Andrew Kelly has been too, 6th season, finally turning around, but I think the youth movement is a big part of the turnaround too. I think all great points, but we're all tied up, heading to the break. Great stuff, guys. When we come back, we'll discuss the protests throughout the NFL and the latest trade in the NBA that formed a new Big Three. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back in the College Crossfire, your home for live sports debate on the 40 acres. Let's go ahead and take a look at the scoreboard. It's all ones across the board. Good show so far, good debate, I'm liking it. Good soccer talk in that last block. All right, guys, let's get into it. On Sunday, several NFL teams responded to President Donald Trump's comments of calling NFL players SOBs by either kneeling, locking in arms, or not even showing up at all during the national anthem. What impact do you think these protests have on the game? Sean, getting us started.
Well, this week, the impact on the game is that really that was the main story of this week. The story of the week were not all these great games we had. The story of the game was who's kneeling, who's locking arms, who's doing what. I think long term, however, it's going to get players more active and vocal in societal issues, which could be a good thing. I mean, the NBA, you know, you got guys like LeBron, Melo, they're very active in their communities, very active talking about issues that are important to them. And NBA or in the NFL, you don't get that as much. I think with this, it's kind of an awakening for the whole NFL.
It's good to see, and it's sad for a guy like Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick, who last year, he was protesting a different thing, police brutality, but he didn't get all the same love, or not at least all this recognition. He was getting the recognition, but he wasn't getting the same love from all the other NFL players, and now it's kind of cool to see them all coming together. What about you?
Well, yeah, I agree with you about Colin Kaepernick, Mark. And additionally, I think what's very interesting is that this has sparked a conversation between people who don't even follow football, people who don't even watch football, have been talking about this, players kneeling. And what I think could be very interesting is if we see this diffuse to other sports, specifically the NBA, because there is a rule in the NBA that players must be standing during the national anthem. So if an NBA player decides they don't want to stand, they want to kneel, I think it'd be very interesting to see what the repercussions could be.
Interesting point on the NBA. I had no idea about that, so that's really interesting moving forward. Luke, what about you?
Yeah, I think, you know, we sit here today and it's 2017, Donald Trump's the President of the United States, and so much politics have been intertwined in sports, and I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. I think those platforms are good for players to speak out, but at the same time, I think people need to remember what sports is all about. And when we get so distracted, in fact, last year the NFL suffered, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because of the presidential debates, but were they really watching the presidential debates for the right reasons, or were they watching it for entertainment? I think as a nation, we have to seriously sit back and look at this issue and understand that it's okay being uncomfortable. Greg Popovich said it earlier this week the best. Uncomfortableness is good for society, and I think that's what we're seeing in sports.
I'm going to go with Luke here because I agreed with Greg Popovich's comments so much, and I really think that, I mean, he's the one guy who I feel like is always knows his stuff and is always on top of his stuff, and the whole unity thing, and I think that's a good point. So, Luke, I'm going with you here. The NBA offseason once again has proved to be more exciting than the NBA regular season. Carmelo Anthony was thought to be traded to the Houston Rockets for the longest time, and then the New York Knicks decided to trade him to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which forms a new big three of Anthony, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook. How will this big three fare in OKC, and where do they stack up in the Western Conference? Henry, big basketball guy.
Yes, I've been waiting to talk about this all day.
Knicks fan too.
Listen. From a talent standpoint, this team stacks up better than any other team in the West against Golden State. But the problem is you have three ball-dominant players. They all need the ball in their hands to be successful. And this is not the same as Miami's big three or the Cavs' original big three. With Chris Bosh and Kevin Love, respectively, they didn't need the ball in their hands. They could catch and shoot. But Melo, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, they were all in the top 20 last year in usage rates. And I just think against a team like Golden State, who's already been very developed with their chemistry, I just think their chances are still slim to beat Golden State.
Where would you say they would be in the conference?
I would put them, I could see them potentially getting to the Western Conference Finals. And listen, I hope that's what happens. I would love to see Golden State versus Oklahoma City. So I'd say they're somewhere between the 2nd and 4th seed. But the bottom line is, even if they get to the Western Conference Finals, I think there's still no shot that they would beat a team like Golden State.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a chance either, but it's still very interesting. A new big three in the NBA, and it's something no one saw coming. Luke.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Henry here. I think that OKC is close, but they're not there. Golden State's going to dominate the West. They're simply that talented. I think the Spurs are actually going to be sneaky this year. They did 0 over the offseason. Typical Greg Popovich and R.C. Buford, the GM there. They didn't make any moves, and they're still going to be a good team. I see them actually finishing second in the regular season Western Conference standings. I think Houston's going to be a little stronger than OKC, like Henry said. It's 3 big names coming together. That rarely works when you have 3 dominant players all wanting the same usage of ball time. It's tough.
So OKC is the 4th seed.
4th seed.
Really?
4th
Okay.
seed.
I'm intrigued. I'm
4th seed.
intrigued. Sean, another big basketball guy.
Yeah.
You're wearing an OKC shirt.
The other
at
day.
Parker's on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with these guys. I mean, the Warriors, they're really good. They're really, really good. They're the best team we've ever seen, maybe. So it's unreasonable to think that a team putting together all these stars, normally these kind of star formation teams, takes a while for it to go. So I wouldn't expect too much in the early season, but in the playoffs, they'll be humming. They have, like you said, they have more talent than anyone. But being the Warriors, no one's going to do that.
No one's going to be. All
No
right.
one's
Where do you have them finishing? 2nd seed, 3rd seed, 4th seed?
I got them 3 seed after the Warriors and the Rockets. I don't really see. I don't really see anyone, hopping
Spurs.
up. Yeah, Spurs. You said
It's your typical Spurs season. Watch out for them.
Yeah.
Watch out
They're
for the
getting
Spurs.
older
They
and
have-
older every year.
Yeah, I don't give them
exactly.
credit.
That's the. I mean, they bring in Rudy Gay like he's going to do something special. Watch, he'll do something
Oh, no,
special.
I don't give them credit for not doing anything.
miss-
they
miss
I
out
give
on
people
CP3.
credit
Don't forget
for
about the Rudy Gay effect every time.
They're just-
Oh, that's true. That's
So
true. The
quiet.
Rudy Gay effect.
So quiet.
I'm going to
So
go with
quiet.
Henry here because I think a Western Conference Finals matchup between OKC and Golden State would be unbelievable. Russell
Absolutely.
versus
I would love it.
Kevin Durant, that would be awesome.
No
and
one-
I think Russell would be going all out.
Oh, there is no one that wants Golden State more than Russell Westbrook. Not even LeBron James, I don't think.
So Henry's getting the point here. Last week, the MLB broke the record for most home runs in a season, which was set back in 2000. The number is well over 507,000 home runs, 5,700 home runs at this point, and the biggest contributors to that record have been Marlins right fielder Giancarlo Stanton, who could possibly break Roger Maris's home run record of 61. He's at 57 right now, and the Yankees right fielder Aaron Judge, who just broke Mark McGwire's rookie record for his 50th home run of the season. Which home run hitter's performance has been more notable for you guys? Luke?
I'm going to go with Aaron Judge,
All right.
and I say that the whole rookie thing, yes, that's great. 50 home runs in your rookie season. He's been at New York. Stanton has 57. So if you think about what those numbers look like, Aaron Judge had one of the worst home run derby fall-offs after the All-Star weekend, and because of that, who knows where Aaron Judge could be? He could rightfully be right where Stanton is at 57. So to put up 50 in your rookie season at a stage like the Yankees, that's impressive to me. I think Aaron Judge had an incredible season.
It was so, it's been so unbelievable. And if you think about it, he's only a rookie. He's hit 50 home runs. If you're going on pace here, in 12 years, he could be at 600.
A home run.
I think he could possibly break Barry Bonds' single season record. I still like Roger Maris saying he has the record, but I don't know. All right, Sean?
Yeah, I'm with you on the whole Barry Bonds or Roger Maris, who really has the record. That's why I'm going with Giancarlo Stanton. He's the closest guy.
I like it.
Yeah, hey, he's the closest guy to come to this kind of record since they're juicing. It's a 60-year-old record. He's very close to getting it. He has that big contract, and he's making every dollar count for the Marlins. I'm Marlin.
Marlin.
Yep.
I like it.
I'm not Marl out.
Henry, you're a New York guy. Are you
I am a
going
New
to
York guy. I am a diehard Mets fan,
Uh-oh.
and there's no team that I dislike more than the Yankees. But I want to say Stanton, but I have to go with Aaron Judge. This guy's a rookie. He was last year. He was up in the big leagues. He struck out half his at bats. For him to come back and get up to 50 home runs, be a league MVP candidate, lead the Yankees to a playoff spot. When the thing with Stanton, although he's hit more 57, the Marlins are not in the playoff hunt So I'm going to have to give it to Judge, especially when the Yankees were not expected to do much this season. He is a league MVP candidate, and he's led the Yankees to a playoff spot.
What's crazy is that everyone was talking in the offseason, oh, we got to go. The Yankees got to go after Bryce Harper. He'll play right field. Looks like they got their right fielder of the
I would
future.
say so.
Yeah, it's
But
settled.
Giancarlo's got 57. He's so close to 61, and we haven't seen anything like this since the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire years. Judge is amazing, but he's had that strikeout rate. But I think Judge will probably break Stanton's record of this season at some point. So I'm going with Sean here. We're all tied up at the break. We got rapid fire up next. We're talking a potential Texas versus Texas A&M rematch and a whole lot more. Welcome back to College Crossfire. It's heating up for some rapid fire. For those of you watching at home, each question in rapid fire is worth 2 points, so it's still anyone's game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the scoreboard. Everyone's got 2, so still anyone's game. All right, let's guys. Not sure if you guys have been checking your inboxes lately, but all UT students received an email from Texas Student Body President Alejandrina Guzman telling students to vote to renew the Texas and A&M football rivalry. They want the game back on the non-conference schedule. And hey, there's a lot of other teams Texas fans would like to see Texas play too. So what team that's not already on the future schedule would you like to see the Longhorns play? It's rapid fire to anyone.
We
jump
want
in.
Bama. We want
Bama.
Bama.
All right.
We want Bama. Revenge.
See,
Revenge
I don't
for
know
the
if I
title
want
game.
Bama right now because I feel like we get destroyed.
Hey, gotta be
Definitely don't
bold,
want
man.
Bama.
Gotta be bold.
Or
We
Texas
want
will
Bama.
get destroyed. Bama, okay.
I would love to see Texas A&M. If not, I would say maybe a team like Indiana.
Ooh, Indiana.
Yeah.
Almost beat Ohio State earlier.
I want a decent game. I think a little Southwest Conference throwback. I'd go Arkansas.
Ooh.
Give me the Razorbacks. Give me the
Arkansas.
Razorbacks. Give me the Razorbacks.
I'm going Bama just because
We want Bama.
the 2009 national championship game is still a bad part in my memory. And Colt McCoy, if he was in that game, they're winning the national championship. Greg McElroy said it himself too. So we're skipping one of the rapid fire questions and moving on to our last one of the night. It's to caption this. I'm not sure if you guys saw this. Cubs shortstop Addison Russell dove into the crowd and knocked over a Cardinals fan's entire plate of nachos. Always sad to see nachos on the ground, but Russell did the honorable thing and brought the fan a new plate of nachos from the dugout. The fan then took a selfie with the Cubs shortstop. So we're bringing back the segment. Caption this. What would you caption the selfie between the Cardinals fan and Addison Russell? Best caption wins the night. So this is for 3 points. This is for 3 points.
When you get a fresh batch of nachos and take a picture with an MLB All-Star, and if this was on Sunday, hashtag Selfie Sunday.
Ooh, hashtag Selfie Sunday.
I would say Addie some chili to that nachos. Addison Russell, Addie some.
I like it. I like it. The puns always get me.
I like that. I like that too. But I'm gonna Nacho Libre instead of get that corn out of my face. Get that nacho out of my face.
Get that nacho out of my
get that
face. But he
nacho
liked
out
the
of me.
nachos.
He was shoving it in his
eating
face.
the nachos.
No, he was
Oh,
shoving it in
man.
there.
I'm going to Addie some win seal victory. Sean Mapes is the winner. Do we have time for FaceTime? Any time for FaceTime? Yes, we do. Sean, FaceTime. Take it away.
All right, FaceTime. I'm talking to you, Tom Herman. Hi, thanks for watching, first of all. You got to win this game, man. Just to make your own life easier, you got to beat Iowa State. So many times as program's recent history, there have been these big, exciting wins, or almost losses in this case, and then followed up with a dud. You can't do that. Just for your own sake, I'm hoping, come on, coach. Come on, coach. I don't want to see you struggle. Let's do it.
I love it. Love it. Sean Mapes is your champion. That's it for College Crossfire. Don't miss College Press Box next Monday at 9 for a recap of all sports news on the 40 acres. Special thanks to everyone in studio, Master Control, and to you for spending your Wednesday night with us. Till next time, I'm Mark Skol Jr. Good night. Great show, guys. That was awesome.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Addie some.
Addie some.
Addie some.